This part of the video is to help in creating the installer for this program. One thing I almost forgot was I want to change this icon. So how I'm going to do that is first I need to view properties. So I can open the properties. Which will be right here. And now I want to select this window right here. That's just form 1. And when I go down to find icon, now it's all in alphabetical order. So when I find icon right here, I can select the icon which I normally select. It's one I downloaded from the internet, and I use this icon all the time. And that's now going to be the icon that's used on this. You can download your own icon, find your own. But anyway, that's the first part. Now the second part is the installer. So you go to extensions, manage extensions, and here you type installer. Now I already have one installed. This is the one that I use right here. Some of you may have already installed it and done this before. This is for the first time users, and it's also a refresher to others who haven't done this or haven't done this multiple times. So mine's already installed, so I'm going to leave it installed. The next part of this is adding the installer to the solution. So we go over here and we right click on solution and we select add new project. I'm going to select all languages. I'm going to select all platforms. I'm going to select all project types. And it's already set up over here, but this is for people who haven't done this before. So I type setup. Don't press enter, just setup, and it will go and locate it. Okay, so it has setup project. This is the one I want to select, so I press next, and I want to name it. I'm just going to call it calendar setup and create. There are multiple things that have to be done at this point. One, I'm going to double click click in the application folder area. I have to add a project output based on what I have seen and what I learned from other videos on how to create an installer. I've learned that this is important: published items and active. Okay, now that this is selected, I can go here and create a shortcut. First thing I'm going to do, I'm going to add a couple of things that need to be added here. I know I always add a file, which is the icon that I always use. I already know it's in the setup folder. I always add this file. And then another thing I add is a folder in this applications folder. It's the I&I folder. And for this one, I'm going to select properties. I'm going to always create this. Always create this. So that's selected. Now I go back into the application folder. Now what I want to do is create shortcuts. So I'll create a shortcut, and I'm going to call it calendar of events. You can select whatever name you want to choose. So I select this, and now I go down here to the properties, and I want to select the icon that I want to use. I'm going to browse, and I'm going to select the one that's inside the application folder. That's this one I just added. Select OK, and if it shows you an icon, then you're OK. If it doesn't show any icon, then something's wrong. I'm going to grab this left click, and I'm going to drag it into the user's desktop. I'm going to repeat the process. Okay, and I'm going to drag this one into the user's program menu. So now what I have is the application folder with all the files needed. There's nothing inside the INI. I have calendar of event shortcut here and a calendar event shortcut there. And that's all that I should need for this part of that program. Now, one thing I need to do is set the default location where it installs. And for me, like I've mentioned before, there's a slash here. That it's important to know that because someone had told me many years ago that a lot of people don't know what this is and how it's used, and they don't see that slash there, and that's one of the big mistakes they make. And I only know that because someone had taught me that. So my default folder I want to use as calendar. So I just type C:calendar, and it's just a default folder that's going to be used. So I'll move this back over here. I believe everything is already selected. I'm going to pause for a moment and verify everything, and I will return at this same location. Okay, at this point, I will go ahead and build the calendar setup. Now we've already run, we've already built, through the debug, through the release. Now all we have to do is build the calendar setup, but might as well go ahead and build them all. It won't hurt anything. So I can go to calendar here and I can just select build. I can do a rebuild. It'll even be better. Okay, now the rebuild is completed. Now I can right click here and now I can build. I don't have to rebuild it. This one's never been built, so I'll do a build on the calendar setup. Okay, the build has now completed. Um, I want to mention that first, the files that you want to look at here. You can actually open the folders up if you want to look at them by right clicking on the calendar and saying open folder in File Explorer. So that was calendar red. That was the project. So to open it, and you can see here's the files, and if you just press edit, you right click and select edit, you can view the code. You don't want to change it because it's already working, but you can view the code, and here's the code that you had placed in here, and any modifications that took place by doing the builds. They'll be in here too. Like when we changed the icon, it would have changed something in the program somewhere. So another thing is the calendar. If you want these files, we have to get these files. So we right click on calendar setup and we go to open folder in File Explorer and we go into the release folder. And these are the setup files that we want. What I'll do is I'll go ahead and create a folder over here. I'll just call it calendar install, like that. And I'm just going to copy these two folders into there, or these two files into that folder. And all I did was I highlighted these, I held control, and then I, grabbed them with the left mouse button and I moved them into that folder. That's all that I did. So now they're in here, and when I come back, I'm going to show you how to remove the old calendar and install the new one.